Windows 8 has now been released, and with it a whole range of new innovative designs and concepts. Now today we have the Asus Taichi 21, a two-screen hybrid notebook / tablet. Now let's take a closer look. With the lid closed, the Taichi looks like a reasonably slim notebook. It weighs in at 1.25 kilos, so around the weight of an average Ultrabook. Opening the lid reveals a keyboard that's backlit when active and a large and wide touchpad. Now it's powered by a 3rd gen Intel i5 or i7 processor and uses a 128GB SSD drive. The processor is actually the same as those used in Ultrabooks. Now looking around the sides, we have a headphone and mic socket, USB 3 port and volume toggle. There's also a switch here that prevents the lid screen from being accidentally turned on. Now a speaker grill sits just below the edge over here. On the other side, there's the power socket, another USB 3 port, micro HDMI and a power toggle. Now the power toggle can be used when the lid is closed to activate tablet mode, but more on that later. Now the notebook screen is an 11.6-inch 1920 by 1080 display. Text and images look very crisp and clear. The pixel density equates to 190 pixels per inch, an impressive figure given most 11.6-inch displays are only at 135 pixels per inch. Now there's a 5-megapixel camera on the lid and a high-def camera capable of 720p video on the notebook side. So the Taichi 21 also has a built-in wide-eye transmitter, which allows you to throw the image on your notebook to a wide-eye compatible television. In notebook mode, the touchpad can be used to swipe in for different Windows 8 functions, like charms, recent apps, and managing open apps. Now let's look at the most intriguing aspect of this notebook, the touchscreen display on the lid. Now this can be used in 3 different ways, or through the blue light on the top row here, which controls the way the two displays work. Mode 1 is standard notebook mode, which basically is for using the Taichi as a notebook, with the lid display not on at all. Mode 2 is tablet mode, which you'd use with the lid closed and activates just the top display. The lid screen is also a 1920 by 1080 IPS display, so rich colors and details are very apparent. Using both hands, you'd use your thumbs to swipe apps on the left and open the charm bar on the right. It's protected by Gorilla Glass as well, and that's a smart addition given the exposure of this screen. Even though it's a fairly large tablet, there is a split keyboard for easy text input. The display can be rotated around and can even be placed in portrait mode when reading. The capacitive screen is smooth and responsive and also very bright. So let's look at the other modes for the tablet screen. The next mode on the blue button is mirror mode. Now this displays whatever you're working on the outward screen. This is great for anyone who has ever taken their notebook for a meeting and presentation and had to awkwardly turn the notebook around to show the screen while trying to control the keyboard. Now this way, the display simply duplicates what's on the monitor, be it a spreadsheet or a PowerPoint presentation. Now the third mode is the dual screen mode. This is an interesting mode where the lid screen becomes a kind of extended monitor, similar to how you'd use an extended monitor on a notebook, with the second monitor being used as an extension of the desktop space. Now a possible example here could be someone watching YouTube or a movie on one side, while another person works on a Word document or a spreadsheet on the other. In fact, we found that if the notebook display stayed within the desktop app, the person on the lid display side could pretty much do anything within the Windows 8 environment, like use other apps and browse the internet. The trick seems to be to stay within the desktop app on the notebook side to keep that multifunctionality, which makes sense for an extended desktop in the traditional sense. So, as you can see, the Taichi 21 from Asus does usher in a new range of devices that aren't just tablets or notebooks, but want to offer enhancements in both productivity and entertainment. Using the desktop mode for the notebook side for work, closing the lid and using the touchscreen for casual app use, and then using both screens to either share content or use simultaneously for different purposes is an intriguing and thought-provoking concept. So, we'd love to hear how you would use a Taichi, and how would you make the most of the two screens? Would the Taichi replace both your notebook and tablet devices? Until next time.